Hello everybody. Stream again, jiggity jig. I have just pushed out a video I'm actually quite proud of where I was talking about how APIs change even in Python, the hyper-literal environment where rules are explicit, and drawing parallels to math. I'm trying to learn, higher mathematics and high school algebra, which has sort of handicapped me in the same way that the basic programming language handicapped a generation of aspiring programmers with the wrong notions up front that predisposes you incorrectly towards things. So that was this video. And then I also did another video earlier today, which was along the same lines. I did one of my talking head ones, and I did one of my driving ones, and then I did one of my talking head ones. And so I have two videos on a relatively similar topic. And I am an SEO, and for 20 years, more than that, I have been not practicing what I preach. And so now the world is continuing to evolve and grow, and it's easier than ever to publish websites. And here you're looking at the one that I have on MikeLevinSEO.com, which is just basically the documentation of my library that you can pip install. Pip install ML SEO gets you a lot of my, stuff I'm using every day, and turn yourself into a high-paid, highly capable search engine optimizer, data engineer, a whole bunch of other things, not just with my library, but with Python and pandas and that whole, Python stack in general. And I have a bunch of sites that I now maintain in GitHub using the Github Pages feature, previously known as github.io. That's how I have created this site. It's stylized. I output Markdown, and then I stylize it with, GitHub's built-in Jekyll features. You drop some Markdown in a certain location, and it publishes a site by applying styles. Each one here is one of the various sites that I keep as just sort of an iron in the fire, just because SEOs need to have skin in the game, even if it's, not earning money, but seeing what's going on with their sites. So one of them is Pythonic Ally. And now that I've talked about this wonderful topic, it has almost nothing on there. It's got this little, slideshow I made that I think everyone should watch to get a feel for what's important. But it is, and that's not even the one I want to show. So there's a lot of updates I need to do on Pythonic Ally. It's a one-page site. It does almost nothing. So the point of this video now is to practice what I preach as an SEO. Hello world. Each of these GitHub.io, GitHub Pages sites starts out as a journal like this. And just so that you understand what I'm talking about, this is some front matter that just controls the meta description. This is a headline, this is a subhead, which you can actually see on the published site as headline, subhead, and then a journal entry. And so I want to put two more YouTube entries on this, and eventually I'm going to slice and dice these journal pages into individual pages, and to not make the journal page as the home page of the site. It gets pretty long. If we were to look at another one where I've been at it for a while, I don't know, like What's a Metaphor is becoming one of my new favorite ones. You'll find that it just becomes these long journal entries that scroll and scroll. And it's wonderful for long tail search engine optimization, words that combine on a page like they never would anywhere else on the internet. Kind of an old school technique, but it's better now to slice and dice the pages into the best page possible, the best page that exists on that topic on the internet. So a long scrolling page like this will become a series of pages, but not even necessarily, because a single journal entry sliced and diced isn't necessarily the best page on the internet on that topic. There's going to be a refinement process. I almost never do this lately, but I'll do a quick drawing, right? You ought to see some stuff drawn out. I like to do it in Art Rage, and it's really just a funnel, right? All I'm doing is this. Funnels are often drawn like that. Honestly, a funnel on the web and most other things in life looks more like this, a 1/x curve going into the funnel. Okay, and then this slice here I won't do too much because, I don't want to waste your time with layers and stuff. But a slice like this is the journal. And then as I get more refined and things become more improved, this is, edits to my journal. And then to the very best stuff down here. I guess I made it dark by accident. I don't know. Let's get a nice bright color for the third one. And this is, best, because the edits are not necessarily the best. And then these are really, the, million whatever pages, $1 million pages. A little aspirational there, but it's a funnel. We don't need that. So we're working on the journal, sort of the big mouth of the funnel, but I'm doing it with genuineness. The important thing here is to always approach it with a certain genuineness. It's more like thinking out loud for myself. Live streaming is wonderful. It's a justification for not editing. I hate editing. I don't think it's necessary, especially at the mouth of the funnel. So, yeah, I'll show off some of my neat new capabilities. First of all, just a single entry, right? So all I have to do is that, and then I drop out into a shell. No, I'm not going to drop out into a shell. I am going to do it in another terminal window. I'll just Control-Shift-T, pops up another terminal window, which puts me in my GitHub folder, and that's just one more CD to get into whatever directory I'm interested in. Git commit, new entry, git push, and you'll see those changes reflected over here as soon as Jekyll picks it up and updates this. You see it's just the one entry, and that new one, that new hello world, will be above here. It takes a little bit, we'll come back. While I'm at it, I could maybe give it a new style in GitHub. No, focus. What I really want to do is I want to take the two video IDs that exist on these things. This is the talking head one I did, and then the one in the car. One in the car came first. And now that I have those two things, I just have this @y, and that creates the Jekyll wrapper to turn these into YouTube video embeds. I'm already using headline, subhead. I guess these will be APIs in math versus APIs in Python. I think out loud regarding why I'm not a math person, even though by all rights I should be. I realize I'm hyperliteral in my internalization and application of rules, of da rules. I don't know, a little bit of Fairly Odd Parents there. High school algebra in particular is handicapping. That is a terrible word. Is disabling? I don't know. Limiting. Limits your thought process. In particular, limits your capability for my capability. It's not your experience might be different. For abstract thought. For the sort of abstract thought required for higher mathematics. All right, and I hit the point home with this video where I show the a division operator. It's not the only division operator in Python. There are several. A division operator in Python, and of course I'm talking about the / being overwritten by pathlib, and the slice API and the default Python slice API being overwritten by pandas, right? All right, so git commit, an explanation of the API overwriting videos. Git push. Okay, by this time, that last change will be here, but not the very newest. So I'll talk a little about some other stuff, and then we'll come back and you'll see the two new embeds here. Now, I keep several browsers at my disposal for different purposes. You'll see here, this is Edge, which is on screen 3, right? I've got my standard configuration, my journal in screen 1, and it's a series of different journals. I now cycle forward and back between journals for each site, and that's the mouth of the funnel sort of for each site. I start out in my personal journal, and then I copy and paste to one of these other journals as appropriate. Screen 2, well, I have Edge there. That is not correct. Screen 2 should always be Jupyter Labs, but I happen to have Jupyter in screen 3, so I will fix that now. So it goes, journal, Jupyter, Edge, journal, Jupyter, Edge, and you'll see that reflected up here, journal, Jupyter, Edge. And then one of the other two browsers I frequently use for different purposes, this which I'm trying to get myself to use more and more, ArtRage, to draw you some pictures. The two remote computers I connect to a lot, my two different note systems, sharing my phone's screen to the desktop here, and then doing screen recording without live broadcasting, and then doing the live broadcasting, which is right now on this screen over here. So I keep my most frequent things lined up here, generally reflecting where across those 7 virtual desktops are going to be loaded. It's not a one-to-one mapping beyond the first 3. The first 3 I try and keep fixed. These float, and so do the number of virtual screens I have. I wish you could pick them up and move them. You can, I think, on the Mac now. Windows still has to catch up on that front. Don't know why that's so difficult. But by this time, that other edit should be there, right? Control R. Jekyll does its job, and here's my two new embeds. Now, this long scrolling format is fine, but if I'm going to do better in SEO, right? So now the idea goes, if I'm going to do better practicing what I preach, I can't have these long journal pages as my main home pages of these various sites. There, yeah, it's all about the process, right? So I'm massaging these sites into place, soft launches, all that. So I need to think about slice and dicing the sites and releasing the potential of the tools I'm using, doing as little reinvention as possible, unless it's absolutely called for, in which case it wouldn't really be reinvention. So what am I talking about here? So, you know, I showed you I had all these different sites, right? So another one is my main site. From over the years, it's terribly out of date, but this was once in WordPress. And when I pulled it out of WordPress, getting off of my old cPanel site, I did some basic, stupid data tricks to make sure the entire site, all of its content was still accessible. So why would I do this kind of thing, you might ask? Well, let's open a anonymous browser. Skin in the game, right? SEOs need skin in the game. You're not genuine if you can't demonstrate your capabilities. You're just, blowing hot air or whatever. So let's try just finger trick. I go for the 2-word combo, so I'm not this guy anymore. I'm not in this coveted spot anymore. Whew. Well, that's me in graphics. Unfortunately, I don't think I have one of the best positions anymore in just the 2-word finger trick, although I can see I'm still a player. So you just put removable. So 3-word combinations, that's me, Mr. Sucrose removable finger trick. That was my mailman growing up. I'm still in contact with their kids. We talk to each other occasionally on Facebook. I'm there in another time here and here. So, right, so if it's this 3-word combination, the removable finger trick, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm 4 of the top 10 entries. So 3-word combination. You gotta at least be able to demonstrate something. I used to be in the top position for Python advantages, but I let that go. It just would have taken too much work. Same way I could have been the top in Raspberry Pi, being the first person to unbox that online, or amongst the first. So the reason I do that tangent, that tangential topic, is because this actually does lean into what Jekyll, the Jekyll publishing system that GitHub.io is trying to get you to do. You can see my old blog posts from long ago. These started out in WordPress. Now they're just files sitting in Markdown. And I may use that same thing to do my slicing and dicing, to just cut my journal into individual files and drop those files into certain locations. Now, in order to do that and get these clean URLs, it's quite challenging. It's quite tricky. See these search-friendly URLs with dates? I'll probably get rid of dates. I no longer think that's a good idea, and I would probably just drop them into particular locations, although I'm going to have to do my research. But how does that look on the file system? So if I just CD up and over to the directory where I know that lives, and I look in there, you can see there's a directory for every year that I did those posts. And there's a directory for every page topic, which is different. There's post pages, post topics, and then there's individual page topics. These come off as like / whatever. So if you wanted to see the /Python, I just put /Python here. And there is a page on Python, the night to go knee ×3, right? Very reminiscent of the videos I got stuff to fix, don't I? Okay, so when I slice and dice my journal entries, do I want to drop them into directories and then use the convention that is that I believe Jekyll is trying to get me to do, versus something I invent? Well, let's get some authoritative view on that. So Jekyll, that would be Jekyll blog. blogging, Jekyll blogging, because there's it's blog aware, this Jekyll system. Blog aware. Permalinks, categories, pages, posts, customizations are all first-class citizens here. There's ways to migrate it. I've walked through the migration process for WordPress. That's what you were just looking at. But I'm not interested in the migration so much as I am just how to organize from scratch. If you're switching from Jekyll, from another blogging system, the importers can help you. But what if you're not? What if you're not switching from other systems? What if you're just doing Jekyll blogging from scratch? Because when I slice and dice that long document file into whatever, the long journal file into whatever format they want here, I have got a lot of freedom in those decisions. I don't have to keep myself limited to what happened on an import. So I have that example of what happened on the import. So, you know, I have done, so some of the things here is I have done a WordPress to Jekyll import. And that site is mikelev.in. My name is my site. It's just a matter of where the period is placed. And I can look at it as an example. But why? Go for the ideal if it exists. See how Jekyll wants you to blog. Lean into the strengths of the tool. Keep your original data in whatever format works best for you. And for me, that's one long journal-like text file for life, right? It gets longer and longer forever. And then I know it's bad to do outline formats if it's just one bullet point. We'll expand it later. And I know that Emacs people are like, oh, for outlining, you can do all this magic. But 80-20 friggin' rule. Keep your original data and whatever. For me, that's one long. And then the next point here that really needs to be made is that focus on the transforms. You can always adjust your transforms. You don't really even rely on Jekyll. Keep yourself platform independent. And you're never really fully platform independent. You know, the platforms that you're not independent of always include Linux, Python, Vim, and Git, right? So that's some of the concepts that are important here. I'm embracing the fact I'm going to be working with forward slashes. I'm going to be working with Python and my Vim text editor and Git, you know, and that's all you need. Generally, that abides by the 80-20 rule. So if you're switching to Jekyll, I am not switching. What do I even want here? Let's start from the top of the Jekyll site. Oh, that is import Jekyll, right? So we don't even want an import Jekyll. I need to go back to my search query. And it's not, it's, you know, I'm not importing. Quick start. Yeah, so there you go. That's not a import location. Jekyll, prerequisites, blah, 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 instructions. If we're not even generating it local. So it's going to be one of these types of things somewhere along here. So there's blogging migrations again. What we're looking for is how do you lean into what they want you to do for blogging without a migration. Pages, posts, probably posts, right? Blogging is baked into Jekyll. You write blog posts as text files, and Jekyll provides everything you need to turn it into a blog. The _posts folder is where your blog posts live. You typically write posts in Markdown. To create a post, add your file to the post directory with the following format. Oh, interesting. So these are important things. First of all, we found this page. This is important, right? So we are not migrating. We a blog. We're starting from scratch. So this page, right? That's for starters, right? Got to keep those things in mind. Put things in an _post directory. Let's just summarize it, right? Ugh, it's going to italicize it. Year is a 4-digit number. Month and day are 2-digit numbers. Okay, that's important to remember. Markup is the file extension representing the format used in the file. For example, the following. So use .md, right? There you go. This is what it's talking about, right? So these are the examples. All blog post files must begin with front matter. So you must use front matter, right? If you don't have these triple hyphen things here, something goes wrong. It sets a layout or other metadata, right? So title, a post layout, title, right? I could probably even just show this to you. I can like make one real quick. Let's just crank this out. This is ready, fire, aim in a very real way, right? So clear cd ... back into Pythonic Ally, make dir _posts, cd _posts, vim, it's year, so 2022, it is April, January, February, March, April, that's 04, and 23, and my first Jekyll blog post .md. Front matter, boom, boom, boom. Title, my first Jekyll blog post. And the other one they seem to want you to use is layout. I doubt order matters, but just in case it does, finish the front matter. And now it's not highlighting that one. That's a little troublesome, but not too much. Headline, formatting. I hope you like it, right? Okay, let's try that. My first Jekyll blog post. You know, this is as simple and, you know, path most traveled with Jekyll, that is, possible. Trying the most simple and path most traveled. Trying the most simple, trying the most traveled path with Jekyll, the simplest and most traveled path. one L or two. They're both correct. All right, that's good enough. Quit, git add everything in this directory, cd git commit first Jekyll blog post, git push. All right, let's see what happens with that. So I didn't make a link to it. There's going to be issues with links and stuff. I got a lot to learn, but you know, in fact, I ought to document that. Where do I even document it now? Over here in the journal where I'm talking about this stuff, or over there? So that's an interesting thing. You know, this is already automatically being posted on that homepage. That's the slice and dice issue. I put a thing in location. I don't like how it did that. I'm not going to do that because of Markdown itself. Formatting here in Vim disturbs me. I put a file in location to test the system. Let's look. Right, so that's now this one, Pythonic Ally. Whew. Okay, there's no difference on this home page. It's still the stuff I showed you earlier, but now we should be able to reach it as what? I guess I'll just give it a try. It's either in a subdirectory that was created, which would actually surprise me, or it's in there. Unlike tags. Therefore, depending on whether front matter has category, post excerpts, drafts. The hallmark difference between categories and tags is that the categories of a post may be incorporated into the generated URL. I've got a fair amount to learn. Ugh, I guess I make a grab at it, right? That would be a fair attempt. Another fair attempt. It's another fair attempt. It's another fair attempt. None of my guesses are working. Post URL, including images. Yeah. So where do these things live? Tells you how to override it, but what's the default? Exploring Jekyll's default content. Structure the site. Oh. When you create a page in the root, let's see if they talk about that post location. Yeah, there it is. Okay, we'll create a new post. There they are doing what I just did. Oh, when you revisit the homepage, the new post should appear automatically. Interesting. Is it linking it in automatically, creating stuff on like a homepage? Well, I didn't notice that. I do not see it here, but I do see the stuff. Look, it doesn't do the indents. I don't like my template I'm using. I'm certainly going to change this template. And you follow the link. I don't see these messages because I don't build things locally. I'm letting GitHub IO do all the building. Not very useful, right? There's no sample URL showing me what it looks like when it's actually published, and I can't just, SSH into a server and poke around because it's not that kind of publishing context. It's GitHub IO. Maybe you can. I should look into that. You only need to include file names, and there's no need to include post directory or files extension. So when you cross-link between them, absolute link, making links post, Jekyll permalinks documentation, maybe. Permalinks. Let's see if it talks about posts. No, it doesn't. There's no... Yuck. All right, so I'm going to do another guess or two because now I actually understand a little bit more about how to guess. Sounds like it might be 2022 04 22. Slash my kid's coming down, so be ready for that. I am gonna keep going. Hey there, kiddo. Just to let you know, I am live streaming, so if you walk into the camera, okay, you will be on screen.
I just wanted to ask, I wanted to get hashtag not sponsored Super Mario Odyssey, but was that one of the ones you got a cartridge for? I just want to know before I invest more in Nintendo's corporate grade.
No, I got Super Smash Brothers Party, the big first one that kicked it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just wanted to know before I.
Yeah, that will not be a double purchase. You enjoy.
Okay. Time to overpay for a video game.
Welcome to my life.
We all know it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, and follow me on TikTok.
Follow the kid on TikTok. TikTok. It's not. Are you sure it's not TikTok?
Dad, are you trying? Are you purposely mispronouncing it just to play into those old person stereotypes?
Yes.
AddieAnime 0_0.
Yeah, AddieAnime 0_0. I encourage everyone to go there and follow and subscribe.
ADI_ANIME.
And just go. Just Google removable finger finger trick, removable finger trick. Go to that video on YouTube, and then
Hey, there's a gas station. Take this exit.
Nah, they don't have Ultra 94.
You're crazy.
It's fine until it starts blinking.
You mean like that?
Nothing but 94.
Oh.
New Ultra 94.
But I do think I'm going to stop streaming because, I just, hey, permalink categories, year, month, day. Up, they don't have a dot something there. That is very indicative. So if you're not using a category, it does seem like, okay, so that's the last bit I need to make this guess. I thought I did that. I thought that's what that was. Year, month, day, title. Oh, and output extension. So .html. But not with the colons. I mean, that's weird syntax. .html. I thought I tried that too. I tried all these things. So I will be looking into this, seeing why in the world. Oh, 23. 23 is today. Is it all because of that? Hey, my first Jekyll blog post. I figured it out. Okay. I had a day wrong. So it's all about misspellings and stuff, right? Isn't it? All right. So great success. There's much still to learn, especially about controlling that URL. Categories and tags in particular. I got some decisions to make there. But this is a success assured moment. All I need to do is add a slice and dice process to my master publishing script. What master publishing script, you may ask? This one. I publish as fast as I journal. No matter which journal it goes into, that mouth of the funnel, publish. So all my sites, I should be able to compel forward and move stuff from site to site as I am inspired. And interesting. It ended on my Addy at 11. That wasn't the one I started at, but that's fine. You can see about my wonderful D&D activities with my kid. And this is just another type of site where I talk to my kid. Addy at 11. At 11. Playing lots of D&D with a kid these days. And all that stuff just gets pushed out, constantly published. And Mike at 11. Right? Learn about my D&D adventures with my kid, that kind of stuff. And each one of these is a different GitHub IO template, and you get the idea. I'm going to be massaging them all into place over time and slice and dicing these entries that make it one long journal page on each of these home pages into organized, structured, highly SEO'd, eventually, perfected pages on each topic. This is kind of the raw fodder from which I massage and shape and mine and create much more pyramid type shapes with the most competitive keywords at the top, the other keywords as in between pages on that shape of the pyramid. I guess I should draw that, right? If I start doing all that kind of stuff, I should end the video on the fact that, all sites generally follow a pyramid shape, with your most competitive I won't bore you with spelling everything out, but the most competitive is, Bill Cipher's eyes. I'm Bill Cipher. And then your less competitive. And then your long tail. And your archive. And that's pretty much it. That's what I'm doing. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you again soon, of course. And don't forget to thumbs up these videos and subscribe. Spread the word. I'm one of the probably most unique live casters, bloggers on the internet, struggling with the new realities of the way things are, adapting my old school skills to be most productive in the new world. And yeah, that's about it.